Kenyans were made to believe that this one man, Waithaka, is the mastermind behind the sugar scandal that was recently reported by the mainstream media. And in this episode, I'll just like to ask 3 nitty-gritty questions, and if you'll be able to answer them, then I kid you not, you'll have solved the whole question surrounding the sugar scandal. And question number 1, what if there is no any poisonous sugar in the Kenyan market? Instead, this could just be malicious conspiracy theories just to cause sugar shortage so that they can as well hike the price. Question number 2, what if the Kenyan government realized that the Kenyan market is flooded with untaxed imported sugar, so they chose to raise the price so that they can recover the lost amount? And question number 3, what if this man accepted to act as a sacrificial lamb while the real criminals behind the sugar scandal are walking scot-free? Because how harsh the economy is, Kenyans can do anything for money. And from where I sit, I strongly believe that this could just be government theatrics, because up to date, no any senior government official has been arrested in relation to the same, as earlier reported by the mainstream media.
Tonight, let's begin with the developing story of the sugar scandal. A cabinet secretary and a member of parliament are on the DCI radar over the mysterious disappearance of condemned sugar from a go-down in Thika. The two are among a string of suspects who colluded to sell the consignment that was already declared unsafe for human consumption back in 2018. It is now 2 weeks since the Kenya Bureau of Standards and officials from the DCI discovered that that consignment had disappeared. Attempts by the DCI to trace the poisonous consignment of sugar is proving futile, with fears growing that it could already be on supermarket shelves. Stephen Latour with the details.
Even as the president cracked the whip and suspended 26 government officials over the mysterious disappearance of the contaminated sugar, investigations have commenced with DCI detectives trailing their eyes on a cabinet secretary and a member of parliament. The two are suspected to be part of a web of individuals that planned and executed the movement and disappearance of the...
And also, I do believe what is happening behind the scene is more than what you're being told. And that is why we are just being fed with well-calculated moves just to cover up the whole issue. And in the interest of time, the real orchestrators of the poisonous sugar shall be walking scot-free like nothing happened. And I want you to mark my words. The DCI will do the usual PE to this man arrested in relation to the poisonous sugar in the Kenyan market. Then with time, he will be released. And so I'm here seated, waiting for the usual saying of there was no adequate evidence to prosecute him. And guess what? That shall be a case closed. And if by any chance this man is found guilty, I kid you not, the main orchestrators of the poisonous sugar are the same individuals to whom are going to bail him out. And the sad part of it, that is the Kenya that we are living in. There are 2 main diseases that Kenyans are suffering from, both the literate and the illiterate. And the first one is mental masturbation, and the second one is the Ruto syndrome. Speaking of mental masturbation, it is just the other day, barely less than 5 years ago, we had the same issue with sugar importation that contained high levels of mercury. Guess what? Kenyans have completely forgotten, and the current sugar scandal seems to be a very new thing to them. And speaking of Ruto syndrome, this is all about political partisanship, in the context that the 2 leaders, or our leaders in general, have made us to believe that I'm today suffering because the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga is not in State House, or I'm today suffering simply because President William Samoei Ruto hasn't done 1, 2, 3, of which that is absolutely wrong. To me, that seems to be a concocted narrative, simply because if I'm just to do a short survey, these top politicians all have companies. And one thing that people don't know, right from the companies they own, people are being paid very low wages. And indeed, if at all they were after changing the lives of Kenyans, they should first start with the people or with the employees that help them mint some cash, then come at large to service delivery to all Kenyans. Simply because charity begins at home. How do you convince me that you are going to do a lot of services or bring development to over 30 million Kenyans, and yet you have close to 2,000 employees to whom you don't pay them very well? That is equally next to impossible. And as I come to the penultimate part of this video, in case if you're watching me for the very first time, kindly just consider hitting on the subscribe button. If you have been watching my videos and you have not subscribed, kindly just consider hitting on the subscribe button. And more so, if you're watching me from a different platform, either Telegram, TikTok or Facebook, kindly just head on over to YouTube, search for Mohamed Isudi. I'll be the first right person to pop up. If matters socio-economic and political matters are your great areas of concern, kindly do consider hitting on the subscribe button so that each and every time that I upload a new video, it will automatically reflect on a notification panel. And by so doing, you'll simply be supporting my content. Thank you, and may God bless you.